welcome to episode 12 of the Live Motocross podcast. I'm Sophie McGinn, as you've probably guessed by now, but just checking in this week with Yanis from Olympus Pro Performance. Now, Yanis trains quite a few of the BYC riders and MXGP riders, so we're just going to catch up with him where he is going to tell us all about lockdown training and any tips and tricks you need. Enjoy!
Living the moment till I die, and I'm gonna change.
Hello and welcome to a rather random episode, I think, this week. Joining me now is Yanis from Olympus Pro Training, and he's going to be talking us through some little lockdown tips and how to keep yourself motivated during this time period, but also a little bit of background on Yanis and what he's been doing. So, Yanis, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you. Hello, guys.
Is this your first time of doing a podcast?
Yeah, it's actually my first time doing a podcast.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
So for the people that are sort of wondering at home at the moment, give us a little bit of background info on what you do and how you got started with the training.
So I'm a strength and conditioning coach, and how did I get into it? I used to be a professional gymnast for 11 years. Originally, I'm from Greece, from Crete, and I used to compete for Greece for about 6-7 years. And during the end of my career, I started getting into the action sports. I started first of all with skateboarding, street skateboarding, and then after that, then that was basically my biggest love, motocross riding. And then after that, I had to do the national service in the army. Like when I was about 18 years old, 17, 18 years old, which basically had about 18 months pause from any sport, really. And then after that, I got into it again. I got back to the motocross again. And pretty much that's where is my background. And then I moved to the UK. And then when I moved to the UK, when I was 22 years old, I'm 31 now. When I moved back, when I moved to the UK, I didn't do anything for a while, where it basically got me completely bored and out because this is not really me. And I met a guy where was doing motocross and downhill mountain biking, and he introduced me to mountain biking because I couldn't get a motocross back then. And then through that, got in love into mountain biking. Although still motocross is my number one love, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, since then I never looked back. I'm still doing mountain biking. I don't ride motocross, unfortunately, nowadays, for many reasons. But I'd love to go back to it again one day. But yeah, through that, I got basically in love with all the I would say the action sports. Coaching wise, I decided to do my qualifications in UK as a coach, and my goal always was to work actually with people that have the same mindset with mine. They're into action sports, and generally like this kind of culture, basically, I would say.
Yeah.
So once I finished with my qualifications and everything, I got. I was looking basically for a mentor. I was looking for somebody that is doing that quite a long time now, and I can get some ideas. I can get a better clue of how actually I can become a good coach into this kind of sports. And this is where my tutor back then introduced me to Darren Roberts, where Darren Roberts basically is the high performance manager for Harrison Ross, the biggest physiotherapy in Northwest. And also he's the high performance manager for Red Bull. And I got into contact with him, and he was doing a mentorship program for coaches.
Yeah.
And through him, then I got introduced into the motocross scene, and this is how I actually started, and mountain biking scene, and this is how I actually started basically my journey.
Yeah.
Into the coaching for motocross and downhill mountain biking.
So now, obviously, I noticed you train a few of the guys in the British and the BYC. You've got sort of Carlton Husband. Yeah. You've also got Preston Williams. Yeah. So what sort of goes into their training to get them up to speed for racing? Because we know how tough it is, even just getting out on the bike twice a week. Never mind the rest of it that goes into it. What sort of stuff do you put together for these guys?
So it's a lot of things actually that behind the scenes, but the most important thing is make sure that the rider. The most important thing I would say, it's make sure that the rider basically is race ready. And in order to be able to be race ready, we do a lot of assessments. We assess basically if he has any current injuries, any old injuries, basically his injury history. Yeah, I would say. And then after that, we ask him always, what do you want? Like what's your main goal? What you're looking, to get out of your training? Yeah. And we take it from there. And obviously we're looking as well at the timeline, like, do we have enough time? Is the goal realistic? Realistic. And yeah. So once we know what's the goals and when the season starts and everything, then we put in a plan together, and his weekly training, and when he's going to train, when he's going to ride, when he's going to rest. And after that, it's quite simple actually. So once we know all the plan, it's quite simple. It's easy to put the puzzle together.
Yeah. So obviously we're going through God knows how many weeks of lockdown at the moment. How do you feel that that's affected sort of people's training, and has it changed people's mindsets? Is there more people wanting to train at the moment, or?
It's a very good question, isn't it? Definitely, I believe that definitely changed people's mindset. A lot of people, especially at the beginning, a lot of people were very disappointed. They got quite motivated. It was quite negative, the whole thing. Yeah. Because don't forget that all of these riders, they work really, really hard off season and to be ready. And a lot of them basically, they're really, really hungry to prove how ready they are, what they've done all of the off season. Some of them have been injured last season, so they don't have season, or they didn't do it at all. So they really want to prove something. So being in lockdown is basically it's a big stop basically. For my side, what I was trying to pass to the guys, which I took action straight away, and this goes also for me. This goes for everybody. I would say as a coach, that was the number one thing that I trying to remind myself, and even nowadays I still trying to remind myself, is that this is not the new normality. This is temporary. And although when we go back, definitely the things won't be the same. Sooner or later it will be kind of the same, or will eventually be the same. Like we'll go back to normality. So we shouldn't stop basically having a routine. We shouldn't stop train like we're gonna race next month, because we really don't know if we're gonna race next month. Like the MXGP yesterday announced the new dates basically. If everything goes well, And 2nd of August, basically, we have the first race back to season in Russia. So you should have a weekly plan, I would say, or a monthly plan, and you should continue train. Now, can you make gains at home? Well, it's a big depends, isn't it? Like if you have equipment and you have the privilege of training like as you would train in the gym, awesome. If not, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't mean that you can't continue make gains somehow.
Yeah.
Like just use your creativity. Like you can use a rucksack, you can use a backpack. You can ask me, you can ask any coach that you trust and he doesn't speak nonsense. What can I do? How can I train? Can you put a plan for me?
Yeah.
And then you can continue training as per normal. Like the riders that I coach, they haven't stopped training at all. Nothing changed for them. Apart from obviously they don't race, but some of them they can't train on the bike because they're quite far from tracks or from trails and stuff. But they continue train properly as possible, I would say, at home. So yeah, the advice I would give basically regarding the mindset is if you don't want to be in a negative mindset, the best thing you can do is keep having a routine, keep doing things as you would do, as normal as possible.
Yeah.
And that will give you more peace of mind rather than just actually complain and just hit the wall every day.
Yeah. I mean, I've been guilty of that over the past week or so. Sometimes it's really tough to find that motivation, even to just get out and go cycling or get up and do even just some foam rolling like we spoke about before at home. It is difficult sometimes. But I think now maybe we're into kind of, I say 3/4 of the lockdown, maybe half 3/4.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Are you finding that people are coming to you more for advice and wanting to change up their routines, or?
So, I wouldn't say that necessarily that have more people coming to me, let's say more hungry of getting more information. No, I would say I have pretty much the same traffic into my social media or through email and all of these things basically. Why? Because again, a lot of people actually say they feel quite lost.
Yeah.
Some other they can't just be can be bothered. I would say. I would say actually can't be arsed if that's better. but yeah, they can't be bothered really. So I have the same kind of traffic. I would say a lot of people as well. They just go on YouTube or just Instagram. They're trying to find something, and the rest of them, the ones they actually come to me, the main thing is like, what can I do at home?
Yeah.
Like how can I maintain my gains? Like the biggest fear is I don't want to lose my gains. I don't want to lose my performance, especially the guys that they've done all the tests and everything, and they know that they're in a better level than last year. This is the people actually they're afraid more. The riders are afraid more to lose their weight, their race gains, I would say.
Yeah.
Which I understand that, and I would say this was also my biggest fear because we put in so much effort. So what we do and what I advise again is, if you don't want to lose gains, keep training, keep following your program. And one thing that definitely you can continue to do, which is very important for motocross as well, is your endurance. You don't want to lose your endurance, and you don't need to lose your endurance because you can go out, you can ride your bike, you can go for a run. So at least if you can, let's say, the best thing I would say, like if you can maintain 85% at least of your overall performance, you're just one step closer to be back to normal.
Yeah.
When things go back to normal. If you keep ignoring these kind of things, the basic elements of your fitness basically, then you're just going to lose it. Simple as that. It's not like a secret formula on that. again, do your strength training, do your cardio training, do your maintenance work like flexibility, mobility, your foam rolling, and you'll be fine. You'll be just fine.
Definitely. Now, I know you've actually put a lockdown program together, which people can get from you off your, is it on your website at the moment?
It's on my website.
Yeah.
By the way, my new website will be out basically end of this week. So which I will obviously post it. People still can visit my old website, but for next week it's going to be my new website out. Yeah.
Sure. So, in regards to putting that together, is that pretty generic for people so they can sort of alter things how they want to improve during the training program?
Yeah. So the lockdown program and all the rest of the programs now that I'm going to release, you can use equipment or you can do it basically just body weight. Also, I do give some ideas, some advice of how you can alternate it. Again, as I said, like you can use, let's say, for example, if you have a resistant bands, you can use resistant bands. If you don't have resistant bands and you have weights, good, use the weights. Or, as I say in the program, you can use a rucksack, or you can use a chair, or you can use something that definitely you have at home, like I don't know, something heavy that you have home, and you can do the program. The program comes with images and videos. How to do it properly. So it's quite hard actually not to do it right. So it's quite straightforward, really. So yeah.
I did notice as well on one of the
Back connection.
Oh, there we go. We're back.
Yeah.
I did notice as well, you did send me the lockdown program through. It is very well explained. Now, I know when I've had training programs before of people, it's kind of written down and it's, you do this. And by the time I come around to look at it again, I'm a bit like, oh, I can't remember how to do that. So it's really good that you've actually included a lot of images, I noticed, and like you say, videos on there. Just jumping back to the guys that you work with as well.
Yeah.
I want to mention Preston because I know he does a lot of mountain biking. He's got
as well
quite a bit of a deal with Specialized, isn't he? So he's always out and about.
Yeah.
How does that tie in so well with his racing? Sort of what benefits can he take from the mountain biking to the motocross?
That's a good question. So the discipline that Preston does is downhill mountain biking. So the downhill mountain biking, training wise, off the bike, is very similar, very, very similar actually to the motocross. The needs analysis of the sport, if I would say that way, is not so similar. I mean, motocross is about 25 minutes long, race, while downhill is between 2 to 4 minutes long. So fitness, like cardiovascular fitness, is quite different. But strength-wise and the way you stand on the bike and the way you attack, in many ways is quite similar. So as a coach, for me, it's not that difficult. So I would say what I do, my main idea is basically I train him for motocross.
Yeah.
But because motocross is very demanding in cardiovascular fitness, I know that as long as he's very, very good, like fitness-wise, then he can deal with the downhill mountain biking as well. Because it's obviously the time is shorter on the race day. Then all the other elements like power, reactions, strength, I deal the same way. Like the way I would deal on the motocross, I would deal on the downhill mountain biking. So that I hope that answered your question, if it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So moving forward, what have you got in the pipeline with Olympus? Have you got any more riders coming on? Have you got more events happening? Obviously, when we can.
So at the moment, everything is quite in the air. I would say the biggest thing I would say that it's quite exciting is actually the new website comes out with all the programs.
Yeah.
Everything aims as a goal basically is to help as many riders as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And all the programs I'm putting out basically are not only for racers. It's also for people that just want to enjoy the motocross, or they just want to enjoy the mountain bike. Definitely, you can use the program if you want to race, but also you can use the program, just for to chill out, basically, just improve your fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is straightforward. Everything is, as you said, and you said that very well, actually. The programs have lots of images.
Mm-hmm.
The program has description. They have videos, so it's quite difficult to take it, to do it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If everything goes well and we have at least few races this season, I'm going to attend it. That because anyway I was planning to attend, so I'm going to attend and be there and help as many riders as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And then that, like you, like everybody, I'm just waiting to see what the government will say, and then I'll take it from there, really.
Well,
yeah.
Going off, obviously we had a bit of an insight into when we might be getting back racing from MXGP yesterday. And they're sort of aiming for August, I think the first round was going to be. How?
Can you repeat that?
Oh, is it broken up again?
Yeah.
So hopefully we should be getting back going in the next couple of months after we had the update from, we had MXGP yesterday. In the next week or so, we should have the ACU's update. Do you think it's going to be all hands on deck when we start back with the British? Do you think it's going to be a lot more intense than what it usually is?
I think yes, probably it's going to be more intense. I think it's going to be, everybody will be excited. Everybody will be very, I would say, hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there and do as many as they can. I'll be definitely one of them. Like I'm super excited, like to be in a few races. I know that the riders they're looking forward to it. Like Preston, Preston won the first race in the BYC, and he was really looking forward, to repeat, the same success the last season. Same goes for the mountain biking guys. So definitely everybody will be like, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
The only thing I would say is, like, because everybody will be so excited. Make sure that you still have your, still feel like quite down on earth, and don't put your adrenaline and your excitement, over your riding, because this is where injuries as well happening.
Yeah, so that's it. You don't want everyone to jump in and get overexcited, and then that's it. The season's gone completely.
Exactly.
So do you want to add anything else in before we?
I would say something that we actually discussed before the podcast. We do some workouts, we do, walks, we do running. The question I want to ask, like everybody, is like, what do you do in order to treat your old injuries? Do you actually do something now that you have more downtime? Like, do you go back and let's say review your previous season, and also your injuries and everything else that it didn't go so well, in order like to prepare? Because something that is happening very often is, like, once we are in off season, straightforward, we just focus on what we want to do next season. But a lot of riders, they don't actually review what happened last season, like what didn't go so well last season, and how can we improve that. So now with the lockdown, we have a lot of downtime. So why, like, why we don't do that? Like, why we don't review what went wrong last season, what injuries we have, and how we can fix that? Because maybe this is the missing puzzle, let's say, like, in order to get the performance to the next level and to smash it.
Yeah, definitely. Because I know from myself, we all have niggling little injuries that we've picked up over the years, and it still sort of annoys us day to day. But like you say, we're normally too busy to kind of take time out and let them repair and fix themselves properly.
Yeah, it's the best time to do that.
Yeah, 100%. So what sort of advice would you give to someone that needs to sort of almost take a step back a little bit and concentrate on work on these bits? What would you advise them to do?
So the advice I would give them is that I believe that this lockdown, yes, it's negative in a way that we missed the whole season pretty much,
Hmm.
but there is a lot of positivity there as well. It's the best time, which is basically this is in once in a lifetime, really. You
Yeah,
actually have the time to really review your performance, review your actually I would say even your character, your actual personality, and see
yeah.
where you're really strong and where you're really weak,
Hmm.
and actually improve your weaknesses as much as you can. So when you're out of that,
Yeah.
you're a new person completely. And riding, like performance, is not only riding on lifting heavy weights.
Hmm.
Performance is also your personality, your actually you as a human.
Hmm.
So a big advice is basically use this opportunity to grow more. um, yeah, don't just review your physical weaknesses. What I said is also see where your mental side, like where you lack confidence, where what goes wrong. For example, on the race day, are you too nervous? And if
Hmm.
you're nervous, like why you're so nervous? Is it something that you're worrying about?
Hmm.
And if it's something that you're worrying about, how can you improve that? Where can you seek for help, for example,
Yeah.
and take it from there? Things like that, little things like that, actually can improve massively your performance massively. Little like these little percentages actually can make massive difference on your overall performance
Hmm.
during the race day. So this is the advice I would give is trying to improve what you could improve before because you didn't have the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Simple as that.
I think that's pretty good advice, to be fair. I think it's like you say, it might be negative, but it's a perfect time to sort of review those little changes that might be needed for future racing. Yanis, I think that wraps up the podcast for us today.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us.
No,
Make sure
thanks
you
for
head.
having me.
That's all right. Make sure you head over to Olympus Pro Performance on Instagram, where you can watch a load of Yanis's videos that he's created for lockdown. I know you said you've got some new bits coming out this week. Is that right?
Yeah. New material as well. It's going to be on the olympuspro.co.uk. It's the
Hmm.
new website. I'm going to definitely do some posts about it as well. But yeah, this is where
Perfect.
actually you can find me.
And also, you have the lockdown training program on there. So if you want to get in touch with Yanis, I'd say IG is the best way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Instagram or on through the website or just email me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So once again, thanks for joining us, Yanis, and we'll
Thank
catch
you.
up with you later on in the race season.
Thank you.
Want to catch up with all the Live Motocross episodes? Head over to iTunes, YouTube, Acast, and Spotify, where you can download all of the available episodes. See you next week.